Hey everybody, and welcome to the List Critics. I'm Armageddon Time.
And I'm NecroVMX.
Oh yeah!
Oh, step into a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, guaranteed victory. All right, enough of that. This is our third episode for June 2011.
Oh yeah, June time.
Now, what's different about this episode is we're branching out. We've decided to branch out a little bit, not too much, but a little bit beyond just the realm of video game lists. So we have a few lists on here.
Oh my god.
I know, right? It's a shocker.
We
We only talked about it
now.
extensively. So we got a few lists, not all of them, but a few of the lists are like about movies and shit. But the first list is a video game list, and it's a very current topic. Top 10 things we need from the next console generation.
I like this.
Yes, and we'll see if me and Jesse agree with GamerFeed. And these are the people that posted the list. So, number 10, they're talking about cross-platform play. And basically what they're talking about is it shouldn't matter whether you buy a game on Steam or whether you buy it Games for Windows Live or Xbox 360 or whatever. You should be able to play with everybody.
This is something I've been thinking about probably ever since the platform started carrying this, similar games, like GameCube, PS2,
Yeah.
Xbox. So I always thought, why can't this happen? Why can't this become a reality?
I don't personally play online games, but if I was to, and I have an Xbox 360, it would be nice to be able to play with you, who has a PlayStation 2. 3.
Or a PlayStation 3.
You have sorry. You probably have a 2 also. But,
yes.
And it's, you know what? They don't mention this in the list, but this has been done once already with Final Fantasy XI, which is on PlayStation 2, it's on Windows, and it's on Xbox 360, and you're on the same servers.
So this is already a thing.
But it's just that one game now.
Yeah, but it is possible. This proves it can be done.
That's really amazing, because it's not only cross-platform and cross-region, but it's cross-generation, because you have Xbox 360 people playing with PlayStation 2 people.
Yeah, so why can't this become a reality?
Possible. I don't know. But I agree. Don't you think that the time has come for that to be more widespread?
Yeah, I mean, I don't play a lot of online games either, but it's a big thing. It's a big thing these days. So why can't we have this? I mean, I could see why it would be a problem if it was done with this generation, like the Wii has like the PS2 style ported games versus the more powerful consoles. But But like you said, there was 360 and PS2. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, moving on to number 9, we have they want more digital games, digital download games. I don't think the time has come for that. I'm not ready to let go of physical media yet.
I mean, don't they offer full digital downloads of like big name games, but they also offer the actual physical copies of them?
Yeah, exactly, and that's fine, but I don't think we should be going towards all digital yet.
Yeah, I think it should be a slow transition.
Very slow. At number 8, we have more secure networks, the finger being pointed very squarely at PSN.
Yeah.
It just reached 100% back yesterday, so what does that tell you?
Yeah, that it took quite a while, and apparently it didn't take all that long to crack it, or hack it, or whatever.
Yeah, no. Well, it's easier to tear something down than to put it back together.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah. Number 7, they want more balance between casual and I guess hardcore gaming. I personally think that this whole thing is stupid. I mean, I remember a time when a hardcore gamer was just somebody who was good at games, not somebody with a superiority complex.
I figured the whole hardcore versus casual merely meant hardcore gamers were the ones that were more specific into what games they like. For a casual one's like, oh, this looks fun. Why don't I play this for 10 minutes?
Yeah, but it's become that, like, oh, the casual is, like, you know, stuff with, like, motion controls or whatever, and it's like,
yeah,
shut up, you know? Shut up. Yeah, I don't know.
They can go ahead and balance it all they want.
Number 6, they want a broader scope for motion control.
A broader scope? You mean better motion control?
I mean, like, what, you know, we all thought that Kinect would be the broader scope, and it turned out to be a joke. So what is the broader scope? That's my question.
Maybe you need a broader living room for that bloody thing.
That's true, yeah. I mean, you're never gonna be playing Halo on your Kinect. It's just not something that's gonna happen. What are you going to do? Point your finger at the screen and go bang, 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 bang.
Oh, that'd be great. You could get kids into it. Bang, bang, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, that's all we need. Get the kids to play the M-rated games, right?
Yes.
And number 5, I do agree with this, but it is it's definitely a pipe dream. No more format wars, of course, referring to the HD DVD versus Blu-ray of last generation. And now, what are going to be the formats of the next generation? Who knows? But it would be nice if it was something that was cross-platform.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly would help in doing cross-platform competitions, right? Yeah. Like if you have one universal type of disc or digital, whatever the hell it is. If it's the same for all
think
platforms.
About it. I mean, imagine. I mean, the PlayStation 3 uses the Blu-ray, and it's also a Blu-ray player. But imagine what would have happened if HD DVD had won that.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? That would have hurt Sony sales a lot. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think we have to stick to what we know here. Number 4, and I couldn't agree more with this, no more console or retailer exclusive downloadable content. The example that they use is downloadable content for LA Noire called A Slip of the Tongue that is only available if you buy the game at Walmart. There was content from Mortal Kombat that you could only get if you bought it at GameStop, and then of course there's the console exclusive, like you got Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
Because you have it for PlayStation 3, you have the ability to play as the Joker, something that's not on the Xbox 360 version.
I forgot I had that, but I can see why this would be frowned upon, because you want to get the full experience, right?
Yeah, and it's like, what does it fucking matter where you buy the damn game?
Yeah, just why can't the game stand up on its own?
Exactly. So I fully agree with that. At number 3, we want more single-player downloadable content.
I can agree with this one.
But isn't most DLC single-player anyway?
Well, no, I think the thing they're going for is a lot of those map packs for I think that's kind of where they're needle and threading this one, because there's all these Halo
but there's a huge market for that, so why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
it seems
that
I don't think that's a big deal. I think that's not a battle to be fought there.
Yeah.
Number 2, and once again pointing the finger at Sony, backwards compatibility that sticks around.
Yes.
Gotta agree with that.
I have to have PlayStation. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, we do point the finger at Sony, but Microsoft also flubbed it. I mean, it's not like you could just stick an original Xbox game in your 360 and play it. It's a lot more complicated than that, and only about half of the original Xbox library works.
I don't quite fully understand how that is. What do you have to do in order to get the game to work?
You have to get on the Xbox Live service and download like an emulator.
Oh, so just get like the Xbox emulator and put it on your 360.
Yeah, exactly. The only console right now that has true backwards compatibility would be the Wii.
Yes, and I use it in full force.
So I think that's something that everybody would agree on.
Yes, at least to the previous system.
Yes. And finally, number one, and this is a big one, and once again, it seems they're pointing the finger mostly at Sony, more launch titles. And I think that the fingers should be moved away from Sony. Let's point that finger at Nintendo. And, for example, look at the very lackluster launch for the 3DS in terms of the games that were coming out.
I wasn't exactly all that enthused with the list I had to choose from.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't have a 3DS, and I don't plan on getting it until there's a whole bunch of games that I know I want anyway. But, yeah, you got to have a strong launch.
Otherwise, people lose interest, and then they don't care, and then not as many games, yada, yada, yada.
Exactly. Okay, so that's the list. Let's say rating it on a scale from 1 to 10, since it is a top 10 list. I'm gonna give it a 6. I think it was slightly above average.
I don't know. I thought it was there were a lot of things there that I agreed with, so I'm gonna say a 7. There were a couple I didn't really care about, though.
Yeah, all right. So we're pretty much at the same mind there. A 6 from me, a 7 from Jesse. Now, the next one is not a video game one. So we're going to move outside of... Oh, no, yeah. We're going to move outside of that realm a little bit.
All right.
We're going to go to movies. And this is from Den of Geek. It's the top 10 coolest weapons in sci-fi movies.
Awesome. I'm down with this.
Now, of course, coolest weapons meaning, you just really... You look at it and you say, I want one.
So it's not the coolest, like what it does?
Well, I mean, that's all part of it. It's like if it does something amazing, then you're going to want one.
Oh, all right.
This list is not a numbered list, so it's just a list of 10 with no particular order. The first one, and I don't know if I would really classify this as a weapon, but they're talking about the AT-ATs from Star Wars. The Imperial Walkers. Isn't that more of a vehicle?
Yeah, that's like I would classify those little guns on the side of it as a weapon. It's supposed
exactly,
to,
which could be mounted on something that you can't trip.
Yeah,
just saying, just saying. I don't know, like if of all the things from Star Wars, all the cool weapons from Star Wars, you pick the AT-AT, the big clumsy looking snow dog looking thing.
Yeah, where it takes like a piece of tripwire to kill the thing.
I mean, why not a lightsaber, right? Wouldn't you rather have a lightsaber?
Yeah, come on. Of all the things to choose from, everybody wants a lightsaber.
I gotta say that was a stupid one. The next one is the plasma rifle that you see in the original Terminator movie.
You mean like in the future bits?
Yes, the future, but the very first part of the first Terminator where it was in the future.
So laser gun.
Yeah. Well, it was they called it a phased plasma rifle. Once again, I gotta say, if you're gonna pick something from the Terminator franchise, why do you pick something that you see in the movie for like 2 seconds?
I mean, is it in the fourth one, like the one that takes place in the future or whatever? Are those
no, it's from the original movie.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, does it become like a main?
I don't, you saw a lot of things in Salvation, and I don't remember seeing plasma rifles.
I never really saw the movie, so.
Oh, well, the first Terminator, they were shooting lasers like crazy in the beginning.
Yeah, that's just all I remember. I don't know. I mean, to have one of those, yeah, all right.
Yeah. Now this one, I'm not familiar with the movie. Do you know a movie called Existence?
Existence?
Yeah. It's spelled all weird.
Yes.
Yeah. The Bone Gun?
Okay.
Apparently it's a gun made out of bones.
Oh, so that,
And it fires, according to this, instead of bullets, it fires teeth.
I think it's, I don't know, like, there's no metal allowed in, like, maybe a certain area or something, so they make it out of bones so it can't, the detector or something.
A weapon that, like, you think about it. First, a weapon that fires teeth sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then, I think about, like, that's kind of gross, though.
Oh, like, you gotta, like, pull out your own teeth, like, fire one!
Yeah, like, where do you get the teeth from? Must be a bitch to buy ammo for, right?
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. From Akira is the Soul, that satellite weapon that blows everything to hell.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, who doesn't want to have like a giant satellite that can just blast somebody from orbit?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Next is the pulse rifle from Aliens. I think that kind of personally falls under the same category as the Terminator one. Although I gotta say, it looks like it's a lot easier to carry.
Yeah, than those big bulky.
Yeah, because the Terminator guys, they had those huge like cannon things, and the pulse rifles looked like just regular machine guns.
Mm-hmm. So they'd be a little easier to maneuver around with.
Exactly.
You say Alien, like the second movie?
Yeah, well, that's where you first saw them in Aliens.
Man, it's been forever since I've seen those movies. They're so good.
Okay, now here's one that I fully agree with, and I think that you will too. The Tesla rifle from District 9.
I never saw District 9.
Oh, your balls are forfeit. Your balls are forfeit.
I'll redeem them somehow. Don't worry. I'll watch the movie afterwards.
By seeing, it's like the most amazing science fiction movie in the last like 10 years.
Hot dang.
It's a gun that shoots lightning. I mean, how cool is that?
That's awesome.
It's kind of like there was a gun like that in Quake.
Oh,
But it looked a lot cooler in District 9.
I do like the idea of a lightning gun.
It was very cool. There was a lot of cool weapons in District 9, though. Now, this one I personally think is a weird choice. They think the rocket pistol from the old Buck Rogers show. That goofy-looking thing that looked like a hot glue gun.
I have seen old episodes of that Buck Rogers show, and it does look kind of unwieldy, I guess.
It looks like a little piece of shit. It looks like a toy.
Yeah, like a clunky little... Pew! You just expect it to make that kind of noise. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know how. I mean, it's certainly an influential thing because it was technically like the first ray gun in like science fiction movies and shows and stuff. But I think they're talking about the old serials actually. But it's not what I would pick as a cool weapon though.
No, I don't know what is up with this list. I mean, it's touch and go.
Yeah, it's a very strange list. Well, here's a cool one: the phaser from Star Trek. You would want to have a phaser.
Yes, that would be great.
Because I mean, it can do so many things.
Apparently, it can
they've
also
shown
blow
that-
up like half of an entire ship if you set it right.
Yeah, exactly. You could vaporize people. You could stun people. You could set it to explode. You could weld shit with it. It's just an all-around useful weapon. And I gotta say, the design, as for the design, I mean, we all like the original phasers, but I think the ones from the next generation were a cool design.
Maybe not season 1, because those lasers were like slow as molasses.
That's true, yeah. Number 9, and if you're gonna have one like regular gun on this whole list, you might as well have it a fucking gun. RoboCop's gun, the Auto 9.
Oh, awesome! Very
Yes. That's a cool one.
Yes.
It, like comes out of his leg and it just blasts people straight to hell.
Yeah.
And finally, and once again, I see this as more of a vehicle than anything. It's the tripods from War of the Worlds.
You mean the who's the actor in that? That famous guy. I don't know. I haven't.
If you're talking about Tom Cruise, no, they're talking about the movie from 1953, actually. But same basic idea, the tripods.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not really so much a weapon as
You ride in it. It's a vehicle. I don't know. This list, and there was some cool things on it, like the Tesla rifle, the phaser, the RoboCop's gun, but most of it was very iffy. I'm going to give this one a 4.
in my head, I was actually giving it a 4 as I was listening, like, okay, it's a 4 so far. Oh, now it's a 5 with the gun. Oh, no, it's a 4 again.
I think we are in full agreement that list is a 4.
It's a 4 for fail.
All right, Den of Geek. Okay, back to video games, huh?
Yeah.
Now here's something very iconic that I think is a very simple concept for a list. Top 10 best PlayStation 2 games.
Oh, there's going to be some controversy here.
Yeah, because I looked at this list and it's a little silly, but
Fair enough.
Okay, so number 10 is Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4.
I do.
Now,
Okay, you go ahead.
excellent game and everything, but they do point something out as interesting that this was one of the last major releases for PS2. I mean, they are still making PS2 games, but this came out 2 years after PlayStation 3, so I don't think a lot of people know this game, but it is an excellent game.
But yeah, for fans of the Mega 10 series, they'd heard about this game and they were going to buy
Oh,
it
of course.
no matter what it was.
Exactly.
And it gets
they all
nothing
had
but
PS2s
praise.
anyway. So let's just move. I think we agree that that's a good choice, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, number 9 is Gran Turismo 4. Now, personally, I'm not much for Gran Turismo games.
Me neither. The realistic or even somewhat arcade-ish realistic racing games I'm not a big fan of. If it doesn't have car in the title, I don't know. Or Zero.
There you go. Number 8 is Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah. I'm all for
That's a
this
good
one.
game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's
The original, the second one, both fantastic.
Number 7 is Eco, and this is a great game.
Haven't played it or Shadow of the Colossus, but I hear they're making a collector's edition of both.
Yeah, for PS3. That got delayed, though.
Well, I know
figure.
everybody says, "Why haven't you played Eco?" And I'm like,
Well, it's obvious why you haven't played it. It's fucking hard to find.
yeah, but even when it was released, and everyone was saying this is a great game. It's just,
It really is. It really is.
I was just like,
I'm kind of actually annoyed that it's number 7.
oh, you think it's much higher? Wow,
I think it's more like a 4 or 5, personally.
wow, man, I have got to play this game.
It's to describe it to you, it's the most simple concept ever. It's just rescue the princess, which you do in the first minute of the game, and get out of the castle. But it's all about puzzle solving and the story, and there's platforming. It's all very simplistic, but it's very fun.
And that's
And it
what
tells
makes
an
a
excellent
game
story.
good.
Absolutely. Number 6 is God of War. Now, personally, my interest in the series is not much, but I mean, I don't know. Isn't the second one better? Like, wouldn't you pick God of War 2? Like, I just wonder what makes 1 list-worthy and 2 not list-worthy.
I don't know, because I've played both, beat both, and heck,
Isn't it like the same thing, but isn't the second one just a little bit more refined?
yes, it's God of War 2 is more of the same, but looks better and the story's elaborated on and
Yeah, so
better
that's a little bit
weapons. So I don't really know.
Number 5 is Resident Evil 4, which is an excellent game.
Yes,
So that's a good one.
Yeah, good all around.
Yeah. Number 4, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I know it's a very popular series, and I know that if you're going to pick one of the games to play, it's probably going to be San Andreas.
This would be it.
But personally, I don't give a shit.
I'm just not very good at those kinds of games, so I can't really vouch for it.
I just don't care about them.
I mean, I watch others play it, and sometimes they'll just goof around and kill people. Oh, I killed my 1,000th guy. That's hilarious. But,
Yeah. Like, who cares, though,
Yeah.
Number 3, and this is another, it's a great game, but kind of an iffy choice, is Final Fantasy X. Once again, it is a great game, but what exactly makes 10 list-worthy and 12 not?
I don't know. Maybe
I mean, it all comes down to personal preference, but personally,
Exactly.
I think that 12 is better.
And I've played some of 12. I played through all of 10. So
Yeah.
personally, I kind of like 10 a little more, only because I've actually played through it all. So I
Yeah,
know.
well, you're more familiar with it.
I'm used to it. It is linear-ish. So but that doesn't take away from it. I don't know. Maybe.
Now, the next one kind of is the same kind of thing as Grand Theft Auto. We have Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't care about this series. I don't like the series. I know it's very popular, and I know if you're going to pick one of them, 3 is probably the best one. But
3 is definitely number 1 in the series.
It's not even on my radar. I know you love it, though.
I do. I like that the boss battles are quite intuitive, and the gameplay is classic Metal Gear Solid, so it's very nice.
And finally, we have number 1, Shadow of the Colossus.
There's the other half of that duo.
The game that Jesse hasn't played.
Isn't it just like a series of boss battles? Awesome
Basically,
boss
yeah.
battles?
Yeah, basically it's boss battles, yeah.
Which, I got no problem with that, but...
Yeah, that's essentially... I mean, that's a very simplified version of what it is. I mean, obviously, there's a whole epic story to it. But yeah, the gameplay does just consist of going to the bosses and fighting them.
But yeah, number 1, eh? Shadow of the Colossus.
You know, like, I just can't help but wonder, is it really number 1? And I hate to, beat a dead horse here and keep bringing up the same things every time we do list critics.
Yes.
The absence of Dragon Quest VIII is a travesty.
Yeah, instead of, like, for maybe the one RPG they would put in here, they picked 10.
And, I mean, don't you think that at least one of the rhythm-style games would have made it onto this list?
Yeah, Guitar Hero 2, for sure. I mean,
you would have think that Guitar Hero 3 or maybe Rock Band 2 would have wound up on this list somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's just like kind of it's kind of a one-sided, very RPG-heavy list.
So maybe it's not so much top 10 PS2 games, but top 10 favorite of this guy over here's PS2 games.
Of course. Well, I mean, every list is going to be like that. I personally think the list, I mean, I like I said, it's got some good games on there. I got to give them credit for putting Shadow of the Colossus and Eco on there. But at the same, and Persona 4, which, is kind of a more obscure game, but at the same time, it's like, God of War and Grand Theft Auto and Metal Gear. I don't care. Dragon Quest, nowhere to be found, so I didn't like the list at all. I'm going to give it a 3.
Ooh, ouch. There was a lot on there that I could definitely agree with. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
No, no 0.5. Don't give me that shit.
8. We'll round it up to 8.
You got to be kidding. You haven't even played half the games on the list.
But just because I haven't played them doesn't mean that they don't belong on the list. Eco.
Yeah, but can't you think of games that you think belong on the list that aren't there?
Not off the top of my head right now. I need some time to think about it.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay. Okay. All right, now this one, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had 10 lists.
Ladies and gentlemen, NecroVMX can count to 10.
Well, the other day I had one too many lists in here, and I took one out. But I didn't remember which one I took out. I thought I took the next one out, but I guess I didn't. Now, this is another one from Den of Geek, and this one's all over the fucking map.
Excellent.
This is the 10 best handheld gaming devices.
Interesting.
So, not all of them are traditional video game devices, but they're all gaming devices that are handheld.
Something with games that you can hold in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, it's not a numbered list. It's just in no particular order, but, I think, I don't know. It's in no particular order. All right, so the first one we have here is the Sega Nomad.
Is that the portable Genesis?
It is the portable Genesis. Great idea. Great idea to just, be able to play your Genesis games on the go.
Yeah, back then, 16 bits on the go.
With a built-in library already.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it did have a ferocious battery consumption, kind of like the Game Gear did, but even worse. So it wasn't a big hit. But I definitely think that it should be included as just being something that was an absolutely great idea.
Yeah, great in theory, but I guess poor in execution.
Exactly. And I mean, if you're going to put one Sega handheld device on here, it's going to be the Nomad and not the Game Gear, let's face it.
I had a Game Gear and way too many batteries were eaten.
Yeah. And the Game Gear games were nowhere near as good as the Genesis games.
Oh, yes, by far.
Now, this next one I don't personally agree with. It's the Atari Lynx.
Oh my god!
This thing sucked. It sucked batteries worse than a Saigon Horror. It was gigantic.
You couldn't even see the screen.
Yeah, it was impossible to look at. So, yes, it was the very first handheld color system. And yes, it had a little bit of innovation in the way it was geared towards where you could play it a couple of different ways, where if you're left-handed or right-handed.
Yeah,
but to be honest, I mean, you could say the same thing for the Wonder Swan. So
yeah, first doesn't mean best.
Yeah, exactly. Next would be the Nintendo Game & Watch consoles.
I had one of these. I think it was.
I never had one.
It was just called Ball.
Ball. Have a ball, baby.
Yeah.
Personally, I mean, if you're going to say, why, I don't know, it's very specific. You might as well say the Tiger Electronic ones.
I had one of those too.
Yeah, well, we all had one of those at least.
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, the Game & Watches they kind of a flash in the pan, really.
Yeah, but they had their appeal, You had like a cool little game on the go, and what time is it? Oh, I guess it's time for me to play Game & Watch, and then you start.
Well, the only Game & Watch I ever played was a guy I know had one, and that one was more like an actual watch.
Oh, like you'd strap it on like a watch.
Yeah, it was more like an actual watch that you could play Donkey Kong on. But the ones that look like like the flip up the DS is based on.
Yeah.
Not exactly a great watch.
No, I mean, it'd be kind of clunky if you just want to quickly look at the time. It's easier just to have like a wristwatch.
Yeah, exactly. The next is, and this is another one where first doesn't necessarily mean best. This is a phone, the Nokia 5110, which is just a regular cordless phone, but it was the first phone that ever allowed you to play any type of game. It was only one game, and it was the simplest fucking game in the world, the game of Snake.
Ah, Snake.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, at least it wasn't the N-Gage.
Oh. Now, this next one, I'm offended by its presence on this list.
Oh, God.
Because this thing is an abomination. The Tamagotchi.
This thing, oh my God. In, what was it, late elementary school, you could not go into any classroom without seeing everybody freaking playing with their little Tamagotchis.
And then came all the Tamagotchi knockoffs.
I had a Dinky Dino.
Dinky Dino. I don't know. I mean, there's almost nothing to be said for them. It's not really a game. They were not very durable. They were very easy to break.
Well, that's the idea, right? Your kid breaks it, you got to buy another one.
I don't know. It was a fad more than anything. I don't see it being on the top 10 best handheld gaming devices.
I mean, they still make really crappy Tamagotchi games, and it was popular once, but just give up already. Its time has come and gone.
Here's an obscure one, the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting this, but all right.
I mean, like I said, you might as well just put the Wonder Swan color on there. What is this doing on here? What game on there are you going to play? Seriously.
What did they have on the Neo Geo Pocket Color? Wasn't that a version of Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, no, dude. This thing was before Sega was making Sonic for... Well, actually, wait. It was around for a while, so there might have been a Sonic on there, but...
Or maybe I'm thinking of Wonder Swan.
No, I think you're right, but I mean, like, then at the same time, you could just get a Game Boy Advance, which had loads of Sonic games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people...
I don't know. That's a weird one. And I might mention that the Game Boy Advance is not on this list.
Or the Game Boy. Or just...
The Game Boy's on here, but the Game Boy Advance is not. Next we have, and this is finally something I can get behind, the DS.
Aha, yes, excellent. The DS.
My favorite handheld console of all time.
I still play my DS.
Although my second favorite handheld console, the PSP, is nowhere on here, I might add.
Mm.
So, you know. Now this next one, this is again, I don't think it really qualifies. The Dreamcast VMU,
Oh,
which
that
yeah,
little
you could
thing
play
for the
very.
controller?
Yeah, it basically was a memory. I mean, VMU stands for Visual Memory Unit. You
Yeah.
slid it into the controller, and it acted as your memory card, and it also had a little screen that could display information for the game you're playing. Like one really useful thing is if you were playing, say, a Sega sports game like NFL 2K1, which was a great favorite of mine. You could call your plays on the VMU so that the other person can't see you.
Hey, that's kind of cool. I didn't know
But
that.
as a standalone gaming console or whatever, I mean, it had a tiny little D-pad and a little A button and a B button, and you could play incredibly simplistic games on it. But let me tell you, this thing did not have battery life.
Oh no, I remember playing it out like to when I had Sonic Adventure or whatever, and you had the Chow that you had in there.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you'd pull it out, maybe
And not
play
only
it.
that, but if you let the battery run out, that could break it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know. So that's another strike against it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What a great list.
Yeah, right? This is a terrible list.
It's all over the
Well,
place.
we are the list critics. We're here to critique. Next is the iPhone, and I don't have one, but I know that they're great to play games on, so I'm not going to argue with it.
Yeah, I got the iPod Touch, so I get some of the easy free games on there, and they're fun for 5-10 minutes. But
Yeah, but they're talking about the iPhone, not the iPod Touch. The iPhone games are a little more sophisticated.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I
And
won't
finally, the Game Boy.
argue. Classic.
It better be. Yeah, no Game Boy Advance, but hey, this was a bad list.
No, it's all right. I give it, I'd say, a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I mean, the Tamagotchi, the Nokia phone,
I can see the appeal of Tamagotchi. I don't know why
the
it's on
Atari
the list,
Lynx.
but, Lynx was a bad idea.
I mean, I'm almost surprised they didn't put the fucking N-Gage on here.
Like I said.
The way they were going, I'm gonna give it a 4. Okay. Now we're going back to console specific here. Hold on,
all right.
technical difficulty. I have the top 10 best GameCube games.
Oh, and you are a connoisseur of GameCube games.
I am, and you are also a GameCube fan, are you not?
I am.
So this should prove interesting. I didn't really look at this too closely before, so I want to
And then this will
surprise
be
myself.
interesting for the both of us.
All right, it starts off crappy. Number 10, Animal Crossing. Sure, if
well,
you're a
come
chick.
on, yeah. I mean, I can see the appeal of this kind of Sims
I know. I mean,
style
Julie loves it. I mean, there are a
I mean,
lot of classic
my
NES
roommates,
games
they
hidden in
play the
there.
Wii version over and over and over.
Yeah, and there were a lot of classic NES games hidden in there, and I guess I don't know.
Excite
personally,
Bike.
I think there's so many amazing games on the GameCube that shouldn't make the top 10. Number 9, Mario Kart Double Dash. Now this is interesting because I like Double Dash, although I did like it a lot less than most other Mario Kart games. Most people wouldn't choose it for their lists. A lot of people, like I've seen Mario Kart Double Dash on lists of the worst GameCube games.
Really, I actually
Yeah.
have Double Dash, and I mean, I love the concept. 2 different people, you can switch between them with
Yeah.
different items. It's cool.
You know what I didn't like about it? What I didn't like was that they took the emphasis off of character-specific attributes, and they changed it to basically it only mattered what cart you chose.
Yeah, but if you're gonna pick between 2 different, I wonder why they didn't go like whoever was in front, your stats would change, so you could change on the fly depending on who you were. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know. Like I found the co-op mode very fun though. Have you ever played it like that, where you have one person steering and the other using the items?
No, nobody ever really wanted to play.
It's surprisingly fun because you have to work together because the person that steers, that's all you do is steer. The other person has to do the power slides.
Oh,
And
cool.
they're the ones that
That's
can.
interesting.
So basically, you have one person that steers and has control over the brake and accelerator, and the other person has control over the power slide, the swiping ability, and all the items. So it was fun. Number 8 is Tales of Symphonia. I haven't personally played this one, but I have heard a lot of things about it. So.
I did play through quite a lot of it. I only ever rented it, but I did get significantly into the game, and it was very fun, and I enjoyed the story.
I mean, I haven't played it mostly because I'm not a huge fan of the Tales of series, but everybody tells me that's the best one.
Yeah, I haven't really played. That was the only Tales game I ever played, but I did see the other ones. But this one was really fun.
Number 7 is Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem.
This belongs on this list.
It certainly does. I mean, you have a great concept. You have a great idea of the insanity effects. You have, for once, a fucking survival horror game with decent controls.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
So I gotta say, yeah, that belongs. And speaking of survival horror, number 6 is the remake version of Resident Evil. Let me tell you, that's a great series, but if there was ever a game that needed to be remade, it was Resident Evil.
Yeah, I don't know how long they could have put up with just the PlayStation 1 version.
The master of unlocking.
You were almost a dull sandwich. And other such great lines.
Yeah. Number 5, and this is another one that I'm pleasantly surprised to see on the list, is Super Mario Sunshine. A lot of people had problems with Super Mario Sunshine. Personally, I thought it was great.
I thought it was pretty good. The only gripes I had was I would get frustrated that I just wasn't very good at it, but...
It was tough, yeah.
Yeah, like the platforming sections were... Whew.
Well, you know, that's the thing, is that I don't think that they really got a 3D platformer Mario game right until Galaxy came out. So Sunshine was good because it had a lot of emphasis on other things to sort of ease the pain if they haven't gotten the platforming aspect correct.
Yeah, and then people were kind of upset, like, Luigi's Mansion, we want our Mario game, so then they get Mario Sunshine, and people are still griping over it.
Yeah, well, they can all, lick my chode and whatnot. At number 4, we have, returning again on the list, Resident Evil 4.
This was the version I actually tried, the original GameCube version, and it was fantastic.
And you know what's funny is this was supposed to be an exclusive. It wound up becoming a timed exclusive, but...
Yeah, at first it was.
I think the guy said that if it ever came out on another console, he would kill himself.
Well, clock sticking.
He didn't kill himself, even though it came out on PlayStation 2, PC, and the Wii.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Wii, it's like, okay, it's still a Nintendo console, but yeah, PS2 with more content.
Yeah, well then the Wii version had even more content, so
that
kind of balanced it out. It's a great game. It does belong on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, we have Metroid Prime.
It's really changed the face of Metroid.
It was a great game, and, the argument has, what do you pick, Metroid Prime 1 or 2? I'm actually glad they played 1, because even though I wound up liking 2 better in the end, because I thought it was a more rewarding experience, it's a little bit unbalanced because the second game starts off kind of meh and then becomes amazing, while Metroid Prime is good throughout the whole experience.
I actually got this for Christmas, and I could only play it for maybe half an hour at a time because I would get massive motion sickness headaches and stuff.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I played Corruption perfectly fine, but whenever I would play the Wii version, I would get all sick.
Who knows? You mean GameCube?
No, I would play Corruption on the Wii just fine, but then when I would play the GameCube, Uh,
Yeah,
Prime
but
1.
you said it differently the first time.
Oh, bleh. Sorry.
Okay, number 2, and this is not a shock to anybody, Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Yeah.
Great game.
There. Yeah. Oh, the tournaments I have had with Melee, let me tell you.
And I gotta say, I honestly, when the original Super Smash Brothers, the one that was on N64,
Yeah.
didn't like it that much.
I owned it. I thought it was a fantastic idea. I just thought that was going to be the only one. Like, okay,
It was a
this was
fantastic
nice.
idea. Of course, it was a fantastic idea, but I think the execution kind of blew. But then the Melee was just this huge improvement.
And then they improved it even more with Brawl.
Yeah, Brawl's better. I mean, a lot of people say Melee's the best, but Brawl's the best.
I agree.
Of course, we're talking about, best
GameCube, and definitely it's on there.
brings us to number 1, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
Yeah, I was so expecting this.
I'm glad it's Wind Waker and not Twilight Princess.
Wind Waker,
I
more
love
like
Twilight
Wind Waker, am I right?
Yeah, you're so right. I love Twilight Princess, but Wind Waker was better. It's my favorite Zelda game.
You hear that? Favorite Zelda game, and
Favorite Zelda game.
and everyone's like, Ocarina of Time. No, Wind Waker.
Fuck you. That's what I have to say to that. Fuck Ocarina of Time. Wind Waker, bitches.
Yeah,
So
I did like the experience as a whole, and the graphics hold up.
This was a much better list than the PlayStation 2 one. I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh,
I'm taking off a point for Animal Crossing.
I think Animal Crossing still belongs on there, but I think I'm gonna give it a solid 8. I'm gonna say
An 8, okay. It's
like
solid.
it was very good. It was a good list.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Superman a little bit here. There is a new Superman movie that is being worked on, supposedly by Zack Snyder, who did 300 and Watchmen. But we don't know anything about it. So this is a list from Den of Geek, and they came up with 10 ideas for the villain with casting suggestions.
Oh, very good. I haven't seen a lot of the Superman movies, so I was getting a little concerned.
Well, the Superman movies, see, the problem with them is, okay, the villain in the first one was Lex Luthor.
Makes sense.
In the second one, you had General Zod, but you also had Lex Luthor. In the third one, you had a guy who was just like Lex Luthor. In the fourth one, it was Lex Luthor, and then in the fifth one, it was Lex Luthor. There's a lot of Superman villains out there. Why do we keep coming back to Lex Luthor?
He's like the brand name, you know? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's like, imagine if every Batman movie was the Joker.
Yeah, true.
You know? Okay, so the first one on here is Lex Luthor.
Hey, if it ain't broke.
I guess. But I gotta give them points for their casting suggestion. They pick Mark Strong. You probably are like, huh? He was in. Did you see Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
He was the bad guy in Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
He's also in Green Lantern as Sinestro, so he kind of has comic book experience there. So
that's not a bad
I could
idea.
see that. I mean, let's face it. If you're gonna do a Superman movie, Lex Luthor's gonna be in it. I don't think he should be the primary villain again.
No,
but he should be there.
Maybe he'll help out Superman in his time of need or something.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen.
Hey, it's happened before, right?
Next, we have Brainiac, which, I mean, that's an obvious one. I don't know why they've never done Brainiac before. Alien robot guy from outer space who can take over your mind.
I mean, that just screams movie opportunity right there.
Absolutely. I mean, he's an alien, and he's a robot, and he's evil. That's perfect.
And he can take over people's minds and make them do crazy things.
Exactly. The actor they picked is Paul Bettany.
I'm terrible with these actor names.
You know, he's been in a lot of different things. I'm trying to think of what you'd know him. Well, you know that new movie Priest?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the main guy. He's the priest in that.
All right, I'm getting like a face thing here going. Yeah, that's cool.
And he's been in a lot of movies, but I mean that's just like off the top of my head that he was in Priest.
Yeah, all right.
Let's move on here. Next we have, and going back to the well again for General Zod.
Why not, right?
Well, I honestly, General Zod is pretty awesome, so why not, right? I mean, he's basically he's a Kryptonian. He's just like Superman, except he's evil.
And very over the top acting.
Kneel before Zod,
Son of Jor-El. Yes.
And they pick I don't know this guy John Hamm. I'm looking him up right now, and I mean he seems to be mostly from TV.
Ham. What was he in?
John Hamm. He's on Mad Men.
Mad Men.
He was on 30 Rock. He was on The Unit. He was on What About Brian? Mostly TV shows. I haven't heard. He was a voice in Shrek. I don't know.
I haven't seen any of those shows.
Couldn't you pick a better guy? I mean, I don't know.
Well, maybe he's a really good actor in those shows. Like, all right.
I don't know. Okay, this one I can get behind is Darkseid. I mean, Darkseid's kind of a high concept villain, but I mean, he's also...
You can pull it off.
It can be done, especially with this casting suggestion, which would probably be just a voice, Michael Clark Duncan.
Yes!
I'm always behind the idea of Michael Clark Duncan being in a movie, and he's already been in several comic book movies. He was in Daredevil. That wasn't very good, but he was in it. He was in Sin City. He's in Green Lantern. So,
yeah, I mean,
why not?
Yeah, why not? Like even just for the menacing voice alone.
Exactly. Speaking of big menacing guys, how about Mongul?
Mongul, yeah.
Mongul.
I wonder how what kind of story they would tie in for that though. Like where they just give
Mongul coming to take over the world. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Because that's all he is. He's a conqueror. That's what he does. He conquers worlds. They picked Gerard Butler to play Mongul. It would probably be just his voice, and he does have a voice that I could see working for that. My only problem is Gerard Butler's in fucking everything.
What else does he do?
He was, oh my god, are you kidding me? He's in everything. Okay, 300, he was Leonidas.
Okay.
In that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, just like a million things that he's been in. I mean, 300 is probably the biggest thing you've known him for, but
yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
But I mean, he was in Gamer, he was in Shattered, he was in Beowulf. Whatever, man. I mean, he's been in a million things. He even played Dracula once. So. Next, they picked Doomsday. And they don't have a casting suggestion because Doomsday would, it just... Yeah. I mean, I think Doomsday is really cool and everything, but I don't know if he could carry a movie.
Maybe he could team up somehow.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I could see is if you have Doomsday in the beginning of the movie and he kills Superman and then... Or he just beats the shit out of him to where he's almost dead, and then Superman has to be resurrected and healed, and then it becomes like Rocky, where you're gonna have the training montage,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I mean, yeah, just do Rocky with Superman and Doomsday.
And then at the end, we all learn a valuable lesson: everyone can change.
I could change. Hey, Rocky IV ruled. Real men like Rocky IV.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Hank Henshaw, most commonly known as the Cyborg Superman.
Oh, okay.
And I gotta say, their casting choice is interesting. They pick Hugh Laurie as their casting choice.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I mean, I get he'd have to not use his British accent, obviously, but...
Which he's pretty good at not using.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It might be distracting because everybody's going to be like, well, that's Dr. House.
That's all I hear in my head,
He's a great actor, though. I do want to say that one thing about Henshaw, and this kind of goes back to Mongul as well, is that both Henshaw and Mongol have kind of been co-opted as Green Lantern villains more than Superman villains.
Oh, really? They kind of transferred over? Or like,
yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Next, and this seems like an obvious one, is Metallo. And they've done Metallo in Smallville, so, you know, there's a precedent there.
And I think he was in one of the animated movies.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They picked Jason Statham to be Metallo.
Can he pull off, like, a non-British accent? I don't know.
What is his accent, though? Like, I've never figured out what Jason Statham's accent is.
Cockney? I don't know.
Cockney. But he doesn't sound British, you know? To me, I mean, I know he is British, but to me, Jason Statham just, like, his accent sounds like generic European accent.
Like, just stick him anywhere in Europe. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I gotta say, this is where the list kind of becomes a joke. I think they're messing around for the last two.
Okay.
For the number 9 here, we have Mr. Mitsispedelik.
Mr. Mitzel?
Mrs. Pidlick. That's how you say it, I think.
Mrs. Pidlick? Oh, I know who you mean anyway.
Yeah, the little fucking guy. And they picked Vern Troyer.
Who that?
Mini-Me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe as a
side villain.
Yeah, exactly. A minor character.
Like, I'm going to cause trouble for Superman.
Yeah, exactly. A minor thing, not as a whole movie.
Yeah.
And finally, I think they were joking with this last one. They picked Nuclear Man, who was Lex Luthor's Superman clone from Superman 4, which we all agree was a travesty. Their casting suggestion is nobody in their right mind.
Wow, Nuclear Man, that bad, eh?
I think they put him on the list just to make fun of him. Because this is what they say. Okay, so Lex Luthor decides that a combination of nuclear power and haute couture is the best way to defeat Superman, so he combines a bit of his own DNA with some DNA he takes from a hair sample Superman gave to a museum, throws in a bit of gold cloth, and attaches it to a nuclear missile just before it gets thrown into the sun by Superman. As if by magic, a 1980s nightclub bouncer with bouffant hair and slightly elongated gold fingernails emerges and, hey, wait, where are you going? I mean, I think they just put that in there as a lark just to make fun of Nuclear Man.
Sounds like a fantastic idea.
No, he was lame. I like the list. I mean, obviously the end of it was kind of fucked up, but it was obviously just a joke. I'm gonna give it a good solid 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 7. Just I'm not as familiar, so I'm like, okay, this guy's good.
Yeah. Okay, we're going back to video games. And we're going back to top 10 from a console. This time it's the Super NES.
Well, I have seen many top 10 Super NES.
They all tend to be the same list, basically, though. Maybe one or two things are different, you know?
Does this one veer from the norm?
Well, we're about to find out. Number 10, we have Final Fantasy IV.
Ah, well.
It's a good game.
It is definitely good.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's been remade about 1 billion times. Why not?
Latest one on PSP with all the bonus features.
Which I have yet to play, but I think I'm going to start it soon.
And I did enjoy 4. I'm more of a 6 fan, but don't get me wrong, 4 is a great story.
Yeah. At number 9, we have Secret of Mana. Which I have to say is one of the most overrated Super NES games of all time.
Okay, so Secret of Mana. I thought it was good. It was good, but...
But is it top 10 good?
No. It's one of those games, you play through it once, you go, oh, fun, and then you never play it again.
This isn't the GameCube here. This is the Super NES where there's thousands of games to choose from.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd have to say I don't know why Secret of Mana is on the list.
Now, okay, this next one I'm conflicted about. It's Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. On the one hand, I feel it definitely belongs on the list.
Yes.
And that it's one of the best games for the system.
Yes.
On the other hand, number 8 is kind of an insult to it.
Okay, well, I
Especially considering what else is on this list.
well the way I look at Super Mario World 2 is I like the first one, I beat it 100%. So then I got the second one, and I'm like, is this going to be more of the same? No,
Absolutely not.
no. The one thing that drew me in was getting 100% on every level.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Drove me crazy, but it was fun enough that I would
It's a
keep going
timeless
back.
game. The graphics, the music, the sounds, and
It's
everything about
stylized
it.
enough so that you can play it, 10, 20 years later, and it's just as fun.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
At number 7, we have Super Mario Kart.
Ooh, Mario.
That was a good game. I don't know if it's better than Yoshi's Island, but that's kind of my thing. Like, yeah, put Super Mario Kart on the list. Don't put it above Yoshi's Island, though.
I don't know. I think I clocked in more hours in Mario Kart than I did Yoshi's Island, actually. Not saying...
Well, that's because of the multiplayer, though, isn't it?
Not really, because back then I didn't really like playing with other people,
Oh, okay.
especially my brother.
Antisocial asshole, huh?
Totally. But...
Okay, now this next one is controversial for me anyway. Number 6 is Donkey Kong Country.
I love Donkey Kong Country.
So did I. Amazing game. But here's the thing. It's the only DKC game on the list. And if you're going to pick one, it's Donkey Kong Country 2.
2, yes, I agree.
Not the first game, not the third game. It's 2.
I fully agree with you. Diddy's Conquest should replace the first one. First one was great, but second was better.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. Controversial entry there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Number 5, not a controversial entry, a great entry, Chrono Trigger.
Oh, one of the most, it's near perfect in terms of an RPG.
I would definitely say that that's an apt description of Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm. Replayability with all the crazy endings, time travel, which I'm always a fan of.
Great graphics, great music,
Fantastic, yeah.
fantastic gameplay,
Just
an amazing story.
what else is there to say?
Number 4. Now, there's nothing controversial about number 4. I think the placement on the list is highly suspect, though. Super Metroid.
Whoa, only number 4, eh?
Like, wouldn't you put that more as, like, I don't know, maybe number 1 or 2?
Yeah, I can see that.
We're talking about Super Metroid here.
Everybody talks about Super Metroid.
So that's like, wow, really? Okay. Number 3, and I know this is a game near and dear to your heart, and I agree it's a good game, if not a little overrated, Final Fantasy VI.
Booyah!
Number 2, okay, I'm just going to move on quickly because number 2 is such a clusterfuck.
Okay.
It's Super Mario World.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
Exactly. I like it. I love it. Great game. Is it better than Final Fantasy VI, Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, and Yoshi's Island? No.
Yeah, we both even agreed it was better than the original.
So what the... Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And number 1, you could probably guess what number 1 is.
Tell me.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I agree, and I would put Super Metroid at number 2. And then Yoshi's Island at number 3. But then, So, like, you know what I think? I don't know. I'm conflicted on this list. I'm going to give it a 6. I agree with most of what's on here. I don't agree with the order at all. And I honestly don't think that Secret of Mana or Super Mario World are top 10 material.
Yeah, I kind of liked it a little less. I'm going 5.
I mean, just to throw a few things out there. What about Contra 3? Or Super Castlevania 4? Or Mega Man X?
Star
Super Ghouls
Fox.
and Ghost? Star Fox is an excellent
Like,
one.
I could have seen Star Fox
mean-
as 10 or 9,
Yeah, exactly. Kind of hanging around there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Super NES we're talking about, and I don't know, the list seems to be Nintendo Squaresoft, Nintendo Squaresoft, Nintendo Squaresoft.
Well,
As a matter of fact,
yeah.
wait a minute, let me go through this again. Let's see, Final Fantasy IV, that's Square, Secret of Mana, that's Square, Yoshi's Island is Nintendo, Super Mario Kart is Nintendo, Donkey Kong Country is
Rare.
Nintendo, Chrono, well, who owns them? I mean,
Nintendo.
yeah, Microsoft, but who owned them then?
Nintendo.
Chrono Trigger, that's Square. Super Metroid, that's Nintendo. Final Fantasy VI, that's Square. Super Mario World, that's Nintendo. And Zelda is Nintendo. It's all Nintendo and Square. There's nothing else on here.
Wow.
There's no Capcom, no Konami, no Enix, no, what about ActRaiser? I mean... that's an amazing game. There's just like so many other games out there to make a list that's all Nintendo and Square. Holy shit. What about Super Mario? How about the game that they worked on together? What about Super Mario RPG? Where is that?
Yeah, where is that anyways? I played that to death.
Yeah, exactly. What about Street Fighter 2?
Any version of Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Any fighting game.
I think it's a very... I'm going to lower my score to a 5. I think it's a very limited list.
Yeah, so we're both on 5s then.
Okay, you're going to give it a 5. All right, so we're in agreement there. I was going to give it a 6, but then when I realized how narrow their viewpoint was...
all 10 games, good, but...
Well, yeah, I don't really like Secret of Mana, but...
Well, yeah, like I said, good, but... Yeah.
And Yoshi's Island should be like way higher.
Couple notches.
So we're pretty much in total agreement there. Okay, now we're gonna do. I have one more. Actually, you know what? Let me do this one first. Let's do the movie one first. We were talking about James Bond earlier.
Wait, we were talking about James Bond earlier?
Yes, we were. If you remember, maybe it was yesterday. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant during this.
No. Before this.
Yeah, totally.
Now, they are finally working on the 23rd Bond movie after MGM got themselves out of bankruptcy.
Excellent.
And this is a list from Den of Geek. 10 things, and this is listed, actually, numbered for once, that we want to see from the new James Bond movie.
Looking forward to this list.
Okay, now, I've read this list before, and I gotta say, I mostly agree with it, so we're going to see what you agree with.
All right.
Number one thing here.
Oh, we're starting at 1, eh?
Yeah, it's starting at 1. Keep the stunts grounded. And I gotta agree with that. We don't want to see giant corkscrew leaps of cars like in Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh, God.
We don't want to see anything that even vaguely resembles Die Another Day.
Yeah, like with the, wait, is that the one with the ice?
Yes.
Place? That was a bit much.
Let me just get this out here. James Bond is not a superhero.
No.
So don't approach the movie as if he has superpowers. Thank you.
Kind of like the early Bond films and then Casino Royale.
Exactly.
Yes.
Number 2, they say retain Bond's allies, of course talking about supporting characters such as Felix Leiter, keep them around.
No.
I think that kind of goes without saying,
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, what are you left with?
I mean, what they're saying is don't make him, and this goes back to what I said, don't make it where he's like a one-man army. He should have to rely on other people at times.
Yeah, because then that turns him into a superhero if he's one man doing everything,
Exactly. Number 3 is bring back the Q branch. Now, while we don't want to see, now see here, 007, this pen is also a thermonuclear device. But we would like to see, I don't want outlandish gadgets, but he should have an armory, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some gadgets. Keep it simple, but, some things.
Keep it simple, exactly.
Yeah.
Number 4, and this is kind of a weird one. They're talking about bring back the humor of the series. Now they're saying, don't make it as insane as, like the Roger Moore ones.
That's what I'm groaning at.
But they're saying kind of this along the lines of Casino Royale, which was a nice blend of seriousness and humor.
I thought Christmas only comes once a year.
Oh, yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Number 5 is saying keep the storyline unexpected, which I guess they're looking, that's obvious. That goes for every movie ever, so.
Why would you want to know what's going to happen before it happens?
Well, they're saying, okay, they have like a little outline of a typical plot that you could turn this into any Bond movie, and they're saying avoid this. Stunt-filled opening sequence, Bond being sent on mission, Bond going undercover, meeting Bond girl, getting first Bond girl killed, breaking into bad guy's base, killing bad guy, and then having sex with the second Bond girl. Oh, James! And that is a lot of them. So they're saying maybe mix the formula a little bit. Number 6, and I don't know how much I agree with this, but they're saying make it a standalone mission, as in not something that's going to need a sequel.
Oh, so like don't have that. What's that group from the early Bond films? The
Spectre.
Spectre.
I mean, well now it's Quantum.
Yeah,
and they agree. They say, have Quantum be there, but have it be its own story.
Like Quantum is around, but maybe this won't have to do with it, or I don't know.
Well, that it's one story of, maybe, kind of like Spectre was, because, like Dr. No was a standalone story, but it did have Spectre in it.
Yeah, and then you found out more throughout,
like
in future movies. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Number 7, they were asking for a better theme song, pointing towards the theme song from Casino Royale, You Know My Name.
Yeah, that was
an example of a really good one.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And I liked the opening sequence too.
Oh yeah, that was great. That whole animated sequence, that was fantastic. Now number 8 is the only one that I roll my eyes out. They say, we want to see what's going on. And this is a lot of people who bitched about Quantum of Solace, saying that the action was too shaky and they couldn't see what was going on. And I'm just thinking, like, you know what? Put your cell phone away and pay attention then.
Just as long as, you don't have shaky cam syndrome where everything is like...
the camera was very shaky in Quantum of Solace, but I didn't have a problem with that because guess what? When you're in an action sequence, that's the way it is,
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm getting at is, so it isn't all the time, right?
No,
so
it wasn't all the time.
Every time, so every time people are moving around.
I thought people exaggerated it greatly.
No, I love Quantum of Solace.
I thought it was a great movie, yeah. Number 9, they want a villain who is actually a threat to Bond.
So,
they
like,
pointed,
not some...
Good examples they point out would be 006 from GoldenEye, Necros from The Living Daylights, and Stamper from Tomorrow Never Dies. So they're saying,
people who could actually take him on.
Hold their own in a fight, exactly.
And a one-on-one.
Well, you know what? A lot of the, they mentioned Stamper. He was, Stamper wasn't the main villain. He was the henchman.
Mm-hmm,
so I think that you could have an intellectual guy with glasses who sits behind a desk as the villain, as long as you have, some big guy for Bond to fight at one point.
As long as you can have that, the fist fighting scene.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And number 10, and I couldn't agree more with this, it's about the Bond girls. Let's forget about Bond girls and have Bond women.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. They're saying instead of getting some chick who's 20-year-old model or it girl, let's get some beautiful, actress that can act and has, an amazing body, but isn't some, dippy teenager type of person,
Someone who could also hold their own in a fight.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like they point, and it's great that you mentioned that because they point out a great example of a Bond woman, so to speak, as being Michelle Yeoh from Tomorrow Never Dies, who she was kicking ass right alongside him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the list. I think it's a great list.
I thought it was pretty good, yeah.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah, I'd probably have to say a 9 as well.
Yeah.
I know it seems like I'm going along with you, but I thought it was just as good.
That's fine. You didn't go along with me on that PlayStation 2 thing.
No, I didn't.
Not at all. Let's return to video games. Let's do the top 10 NES games.
Oh, snap.
Now, this is one of those things. It could be great or it could be highly controversial.
Either way, it's gonna be.
So, well, okay, I haven't looked at it yet, but I just looked at number 10, and yeah, it's starting off weird.
Someone's gonna be like, "Why wasn't Highlight on there?"
I don't think anybody's gonna say that.
Hey, there's always one, right?
I mean, it was. I mean, I think Highlight is a little underrated. It wasn't the terrible piece of shit that people make it out to be.
No, but it's
it was not
forgettable,
a great
right?
game.
Yeah.
But it was not a great game.
Yeah.
Number 10 is The Guardian Legend. Now, this is interesting because I have no complaints about the game.
Okay.
But it is just one of those weird games that, I mean, I'm sure you haven't played it based on your response.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I don't know if it qualifies as great, though.
What is it exactly?
It's interesting. It's sort of a mixture of like a Zelda type game and then like a Gradius type game.
Huh, really?
Like it alternates between the two, yeah. So it's certainly an intriguing game. It's a lot of fun to play, but I don't know if I would say top 10 material. Maybe top 30, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's worth my time trying it out, though.
Oh, it is. It is a good game. Number 9, Ninja Gaiden.
Aha, yes, Ninja Gaiden.
Now, I have to agree with if you're going to pick one of the Ninja Gaiden games, yes, the original was
Make it the
best.
first one, yeah.
I love Ninja Gaiden. This was people forget how influential this game. This was the first game that was like a major release that had like cutscenes and kind of a really fleshed out story, but it was an action game.
Fleshed out story for the NES, but still.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't an adventure game or an RPG. It was an action game.
Mm-hmm. So like the typical platformer guy picks it up and is like, oh shoot, I gotta read now.
Well, you don't have to, but it's more fun if you do.
Yeah.
Especially with the great graphics that they had for the cutscenes.
It immersed you in the story a little more.
Absolutely. And the great music.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't talk about Ninja Gaiden's music, but it had great music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Number 8, Dragon Quest III.
Ooh.
Wow. I loved it.
Why
would you not pick 4?
Why not pick 4?
I would have picked 4.
I only ever played Dragon Warrior 1 and got very frustrated very easily with it.
Well, okay. But 3 is great. No mistakes. But 4 is an epic. I mean, I kind of think the people who played the list might not have played 4 because you would definitely put that on there instead of 3. Number 7, going back to the RPG well again, we have Final Fantasy.
The first one?
Yes, the first one.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, you got to remember that 2 and 3 did not come out in America.
So they're going based on what games actually came out.
I mean, it's unlikely that the person who wrote this list played 2 and 3 on the NES.
Well, it certainly was revolutionary.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't revolutionary. I mean, it didn't do anything that Dragon Quest III didn't already do. The job system, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great game. Moving on to number 6, and this is an interesting one because a lot of people like to bag on this game, but I gotta agree with what the people who made this list. It's an amazing game, Zelda 2.
Oh my god, my favorite game.
Really?
It is my favorite game of all time. I'm not saying it's the best.
Surprised to hear that.
It's just my favorite.
Wow, that's cool. I'm surprised to hear that.
Wait, you didn't know Zelda 2 was my favorite game?
No, I didn't know that. You never mentioned it before.
Oh, well, yeah, it's my favorite game. I play it like at least once every 6 months all the way through.
The more you know.
Ding, ding, ding.
Number 5, we have Metroid.
This game, made my eyes bleed when I was a kid. Because everything looked the same, so I would get so mad.
I would imagine if you were severely visually impaired, that Metroid would be kind of a pain in the ass.
It isn't so much that as it is I got so lost in that game.
Yeah, that's the one thing, and I do want to say about the original Metroid, is it was a good game, but I don't know that it's number 5. Because I think that that's a series that kind of came into its own later on. Metroid is a game that would be 10 times better with the addition of something as simple as a map.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You get lost. You literally have no idea where you are, and you had to write out your own maps. I remember doing that too.
Graph paper, yeah. Number 4, and okay, this is another weird one for me at least. Mega Man 2.
Ooh,
Hold on, let me hit myself with the microphone a few times.
Oh, come on, man. It's Mega Man 2.
If you're going to pick a Mega Man game, why? Why 2?
I don't know. Everybody loves it so much. And if you try...
Everybody's an idiot.
Well, you can count me as an idiot.
I like Mega Man 2. I love it. It's a great game. It's better than the first one. And 3 is better than 2. And 4 is better than 3. And then it got a little weird after that. But let me just talk about one thing that no one ever seems to talk about. The controls. The controls in the original Mega Man were very, very slippery. Mega Man 2 was not much better in that aspect.
You still did slip a little bit.
Yeah. It wasn't until Mega Man 3 that you could stop on a dime. And I also want to mention things that were added in the later games that you take for granted, such as the slide and the Mega Buster.
Oh, yes. Both fantastic ideas.
Things that should never have been missing from Mega Man 9 and 10, I might mention.
I had no problem with their omission, but then again, I play Mega Man 2 a lot, so...
Yeah.
But the big thing for me in Mega Man 2 is the music. The music makes me come back.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sorry, 3 had better music.
Maybe it had better music quality, but I like the soundtrack for 2 better.
I don't know. I thought 3 had cooler songs.
Well, you know, apples and oranges.
Yeah, that's very true. But personally, I'm going to say, I'm going to strike this from the record and say it's Mega Man 4 that belongs on the list.
All right.
I'm striking that. I'm using my veto powers. Number 3, Super Mario Brothers.
First one?
Yeah.
Huh.
First one. It's a classic. It's an amazing game. It does belong on the list. I don't think it belongs in number 3, but...
That's where I'm a little hesitant at number 3, because, I mean, there you got 2. You have Mario 3, which probably is on number 2 or number 1 on this list.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Mario 1 would be more like number 9 or 10.
Yeah, I put it more near the top. Or the bottom, I should say.
Yeah. Number 2 is The Legend of Zelda.
There we go. I was waiting for that one.
Personally, I thought Zelda 2 was better, but...
I thought Zelda 2 was better as well.
Yeah, but we know we're in a minority on that. And number 1, you could probably guess what number 1 is. Super Mario Brothers 3.
That reminds me of that scene in The Wizard when that guy goes, Mario Brothers 3! And then the doors open, and you're like,
it's like the most epic thing ever.
Yes.
You know what's funny, though, is I got that on, tape, I rented it, so I had already played Mario 3.
Oh, I saw it before it was even out, and it was just blown away.
You know what always bugged me about that movie?
What?
Was that when the girl starts screaming at the kid to... well, first of all, the kid finds the whistle. I don't know how he knew to do that.
There are so many inconsistencies. You're going to hurt your head.
How would he know to get the whistle in the fortress? And then the girl is screaming, "Use it! It's a warp whistle!" And how would she know?
Oh, that if you are a hardcore
does she read
gamer
Famitsu?
I mean, game, you will punch the screen with the inaccuracies.
How would well, it's not that it was inaccurate, but it's how would she even know that? The whole point of it was that they were being made to play a game that they've never played before.
Just try not to think about it.
Yeah, it was a dumb movie. The list has its issues, but it's not bad. I'm going to give it a 6.
I think I have to give it a 4. I didn't really like it as much. It was good. It was okay, but I thought it could have been much better.
Yeah, I mean, I have issues with certain series having the wrong entry in there, like Dragon Quest and Mega Man. I would probably flip-flop the Zelda games.
Yeah.
I do agree with Super Mario Bros. 3 being at number 1, though.
Yeah, that definitely belongs.
Oddly, they have a screenshot from the Super NES version.
Huh. Oh,
Weird, right?
strange pull.
We're running long here. We're at an hour and a half, so let's move things along here.
Damn.
We got one more list, and this is a movie list.
Yay.
And this one is, let me just get to it.
Top 6 Star Wars movies.
No, it's a top 10 list. It's the, this is an interesting one. Top 10 surprise deaths in blockbuster movies. Major, big blockbuster movies, and then all of a sudden a character dies that you never would expect.
It's going to be funny if I've never seen any of these movies.
I'm sure you've seen some of these.
Okay.
Okay, number one. Well, these aren't numbered, so the first one is from Executive Decision, Steven Seagal. He died like 5 minutes into that.
He did? I haven't seen. I'm not a big Seagal fan.
Yeah, I mean they marketed it as being like the next Steven Seagal movie.
Oh. And he dies 5 minutes.
He dies like right in the beginning. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And from what I understand, he was pissed about it too.
Oh, so it wasn't his decision. It was an executive decision.
Executive. I see what you did there. The next one is that movie that came out in, I think, the 80s or 90s, My Girl.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin.
Remember that thing? Macaulay Culkin suddenly got stung to death by bees at the end.
He died by bees.
That's got to be, not only was it a surprise, but it's got to be one of the most unintentionally funny scenes ever. You're not supposed to laugh at it, but all of a sudden he's overwhelmed by bees and he's like swatting around, and it's like, it's almost like it's played for laughs, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, by the way, he's dead.
And then you're just like, you're a terrible person for laughing at that scene.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Now, I don't know that this one was unexpected. In Armageddon, they were surprised that Bruce Willis died. I thought that was pretty obvious that he was not going to make it.
I really like that movie, and I pretty much saw it coming.
I thought it was great, too. Yeah, I think everybody saw it coming. I don't know.
Like when Ben Affleck pulled the straw to be the guy, you're like, he's not going to die. He's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, you knew Ben Affleck wasn't going to die, yeah. Ripley in Alien 3, although then there was Alien Resurrection anyway, so...
Well, yeah, but before Resurrection, I guess, people were like, oh,
exactly.
No, the lead actress is dead, what do we do?
Exactly. It's like if the end of Die Hard, if Bruce Willis suddenly died, you know?
Like, Geronimo! Off the building.
Geronimo, motherfucker. The chick from Cliffhanger.
Don't think I ever saw Cliffhanger.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but...
Nah.
Yeah. Robert Shaw in Jaws. Have you seen Jaws?
Yes, I have.
Okay, yeah, remember the guy that was like the shark hunter?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm going to get this shark, and you think he's all awesome, and then he gets in the boat, and he just gets drunk, and the shark eats him.
Yes.
Deep Blue Sea, Samuel L. Jackson died pretty quickly in that.
That was a funny death.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden, you know.
He had this awesome speech going, too.
And then nom, 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 nom.
Like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah, now here's one that nobody expected, I don't think. In Turner and Hooch, I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
Tom Hanks and the dog?
Yeah, the dog dies in that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like, you don't expect the dog to die.
No, because people get very upset when animals die in movies.
Especially if it's a buddy comedy with a dog, I mean...
Yeah,
you kind of expect the dog to at least make it.
It brings it down a little bit.
It ruins the sequel idea, that's for sure.
Well,
now this is another one that, okay, personally this didn't shock me or anything, but they say that when they saw The Dark Knight and what's her face, Rachel died, that everybody in the audience was just like,
Really? People?
Yeah. Well, they said that the assumption, they thinking that she would live and that Harvey Dent would get caught in an explosion and that would, you know, his face would burn off and that's what would turn him into Two-Face.
Oh, no, I pretty much had the other way around.
You know, but I mean, but then why would he go crazy if she's still alive?
Exactly. Like there had to be some level of, you know,
there had to be a major trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So, and especially the whole idea that, Batman had to choose which one he went after. I mean, the cops went after the other one.
Yeah.
But you knew Batman was going to get there first. He was the only one that had a chance of saving a person, and he chose to go after Rachel. But the Joker lied about which one was in which building.
Yeah, of course.
So, which is exactly in the Joker's character.
Because he knew who Batman would go for.
Because he's chaotic. Because he's, exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, and once again, I don't see this as being a surprise. Maybe a shock, but not really a surprise. Spock in Star Trek 2.
Yeah, I guess, like, he goes into that chamber thing. It's not going to be like he comes out and everything is okay.
Yeah, exactly. Funny little trivia about Star Trek 2 is that they wanted Bones to say his line, he's dead, Jim.
Yeah.
But they thought that would, that people would think that was like a little too comedic.
I'd probably have taken it as a little too comedic. Like, oh, he's
so yeah, exactly. Because you always said that about like the red shirts that would get killed.
Yeah.
But so they had Scotty say, no, he's already dead,
Yeah.
But I don't, maybe it was a shock, but I don't know that I would call it a surprise.
No, and then I mean the next movie called Search for Spock.
Spoiler. They find Spock. Search for Spock was good, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that. So what do you think of this list?
I thought it was all right. I'll give it another 7. Like, it was okay.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go along with that. It was a 7. I thought most of these are pretty good. What you would expect to be on here. But then, like Dark Knight and Star Trek 2, that weren't really surprising.
Never really saw a cliffhanger, so I don't know.
Well, I guess, you would expect the chick to live in Cliffhanger, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I played the NES game.
Oh,
It
God.
sucked.
It
sucked ass. You heal by burning money.
Is that supposed to be like some commentary on society or something?
No, apparently in the movie he did burn money at one point to keep warm. But they took the idea way too far in the movie, in the game rather, because not only do you have to have money, but you have to walk by a fire. And when I was doing my video of it, I was confused. Because I would walk by a fire and all of a sudden I'd be healed. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Because you don't press a button or something, it just happens automatically.
Like, I'm losing money and I'm gaining health. What?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like, what if you don't... I guess you have to jump over the fire if you don't... Like, what if you're only missing, like, a little bit of health?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to heal yourself. You want to save your money for when you really need it.
So you got to jump over.
You have to avoid the fire, That's weird. I know. Well, another great episode.
I think so.
The List Critics. We are awesome.
We are perfect.
Let's pat ourselves on the back. Okay, all right. Well, we'll see you guys in July.
Yeah, see you later.
July. And this is NecroVMX saying, I'm out, bitch.
This is Armageddon time saying bye-bye.